The second pick and ban phase between Fnatic and Roccat Week 3 Dash Series is now on the way, and we'll take a look at it. So Roccat banning away Siren Malzahar like in the last pick and ban phase against Jess's 2 pick. Don't want to give that over. Fnatic coming out with the standard red side bans, LeBlanc, Rengar, and perhaps they want to ban away Camille. They left it open in the last game, and then they were able to pick it up, but I don't think that Roccat will make the same mistake once again, so I'd like to see Fnatic ban that away. But Roccat, they ban out Shen, so that lets us know that Roccat thinks it's a very strong pick. So they think that it is a very strong pick, but they don't want to give it over to Fnatic either. So banning that away means that it's definitely not going to be that which they will pick up this time, and Fnatic coming up with the last standard ban of Camille. So Roccat, they have learned their lesson. They need an utility AD carry. Therefore, they first pick Varus. But now they have to keep in mind that Iron is still open, Maokai is still open. Fnatic can still go for Ashe or Jhin. So Iron and Corgi being picked up. Corgi for the mid lane for caps. Iron for the jungler of Amazing. You don't have to fix what's not broken. Iron worked really well in the last game. And then Corgi being picked up does mean that Fnatic, they might look again for some mid-game team fighting with Corgi getting the power spikes of the 24th and the Hextech Gunblade very early on in the mid-game, so to speak. And then the Roccat lineup, they can't know for sure that Corgi is going to the mid lane. We have seen him going to the mid lane very often in the current meta, but Roccat, they have to make sure that they don't give Caps' Rise over, so taking that up is really smart in my opinion. And then Roccat, they finalized their first pick phase 1 with Karma, also a very strong support. Not exactly the one that I would have hoped to see with someone like Varus. I would perhaps have preferred someone as Brand, Bard, Braum, Cyrus banned away. I'm not that convinced by Karma, because obviously she can poke a lot with Varus, and that works really well in that sense, because Varus works with poke and so does Karma. But I just like to see more emphasis on the crowd control part of Varus. Fnatic, they lock in Soraka again, not showing too much except that they have a lot of healing power and healing potential. We haven't seen the AD carry, so it's not like it's a bad pick yet, but Fnatic, they haven't picked up Ashe or Jhin, and with Corgi being locked in, we'd have to imagine that Roccat might be a little bit confused, because obviously Corgi could go to the bottom side to Reckless, but we've seen him go to the mid lane so often, so you don't want to give Reckless an opportunity to get a Jhin or an Ashe, so you have to ban that away, and Fnatic are once again falling into the same trap. And they did this again. They did this against G2 as well. They didn't pick up a goddamn utility AD carry, and then they go for Ezreal instead. And you have to know that I do like Ezreal. It's not a bad pick. I definitely don't hate him. But why would you pick him in a meta where you need to push towers fast? Ezreal is so late game scaling. You need to go to the late game in order to make him work. You have Corgi, Ivan, and Soraka. Why you're focusing on the mid game? You don't want to pick Ezreal here. Sivir would work better. I mean, Caitlyn would work better. Tristana would work better. Even if goddamn Sex would work better. Don't pick Ezreal, not here. You fall into the same trap. And I do like the fact that Fnatic, they know that Their composition again is focusing so much in the mid game that they ban away Lee Sin and Graves so that they cannot fall behind. But please don't pick Ezreal. You could have gone for Maokai instead, perhaps. You could have gone for that Maokai, then you would have had a strong front line again. You would have the opportunity to swap Corki down to the bottom for Reckless to play, instead of allowing Roccat. Yeah, they can pick up K6, they can pick up Maokai as well as they want a strong frontliner. Yes, so you basically just gave Roccat everything that they could want for their composition, because Ryze will scale to late game, but you have Varus who can make plays with his Chains of Corruption, and you have K6 who will benefit from that, and then you have Maokai who can teleport around the map and help you make plays as well. And you have to go for Nautilus. I think that Nautilus is fine. He's definitely not a bad pick in this composition where you have so much utility, where you have so much healing power, and it's basically just a frontliner like Maokai, just without a point and click CC. What I dislike so hard about Fnatic is still that Ezreal pickup. It doesn't play into their favor. It doesn't play into that style of play that they thought that they would get with those mid game fights. And Fnatic, they should have picked a Jhin or an Ashe instead of Soraka at the point that they picked Soraka, because that would just have worked better. Yes, you might have lost Soraka in the next ban phase, but then you could have gone for Bard, or I don't want to see you go for Janna, but you could have gone for Bard, you could have gone for Braum, Alistar, basically whatever would have been better than getting a goddamn Ezreal. So Fnatic, I'll spoil for you guys. I'll spoil for you guys. Fnatic, they lost this game, and Ezreal never really got to a point where he could carry. So let's move on to the third pick and ban phase.